place like we at the ballpark. This is God's house, so we should. So it's just some little stuff that we, and I ain't busting. I'm just trying to say what I saw. And so here's the thing: if I'm a stickler about time, and I'm a stickler about starting on time, then I need everybody on my leadership team to be the same way. So I said, wait a minute, how they started? I went on the whatever what this thing is, U screen. I'm on U screen. I say, oh, Dick them to start it. But the choir still down here. Why is that? Then I see, watch this, on Ustream, because we done started using the cameras. Y'all got to be careful because the cameras going everywhere. Using all the cameras. Then I see on Ustream, deep praying or somebody reading the scripture, and ushers just letting folk walk in the door. I said, all this going on, that's why the spirit don't be right, because we ain't in order. We got to get in order. You'll buy a kind of excuse. I'm out there, traffic was bad. I'm coming from Thompson. Like, don't mess with my check. Right? So we got to do a better job of understanding the seriousness. And if we gonna do a ministry of excellence, one ministry can't be excellent, and then the other one can just be willy-nilly. All right? Because what people gonna do is say, okay, these people don't start on time, they stay all night. And then they start late, come in late, folks just walking, folks praying, and they just walking, ain't nobody trying to stop. And I know what us is saying, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to have somebody come over and do an usher workshop, because I do understand the church is new and some folks never ushered before. I do understand all of those dynamics. And here's what we got to understand. Just because we grew up in church don't mean everybody grew up in church. And so don't just assume that folk know what the order is. All right? But here's the thing. If the leader has said, we're going to start on time, I told Deke, because Deke asked me one day, he said, well, I just need to know, do I need to wait? I said, no, you the timekeeper. I said, because if you don't start on time, I'm going to talk to you. The deacon starts first. He said, well, I'm telling you what I'm going to do. One Sunday, I'm going to start saying one of them old hymns, because they ain't going to, I said, if they ain't there, sing what you need to sing. Because what that would do, that would tell people, this will roll with you. Or without you. And so we gotta get in people's mind, especially our leaders and especially our team, that watch this. Sunday morning, even though it's God, we gotta give God something to work with. We gotta pre-plan. I don't do that. All right, because I take it serious. Okay, so let's go. When you talk about team building, here's the thing. I can't think of the composer's name, but there's a composer, there's a music a music conductor, orchestra, what the folk that wrote the music could. Y'all missed it. In other words, you can compose something, you can put a ministry together, you can say, okay, we want to focus on this, we focus on that, we focus on that. But if you can't conduct it and you don't have the spirit, some people have a drawing spirit. All right? And so in church, watch this, in leadership, if we have people that are not drawing folk to the ministry, but running folk from the ministry, we got a problem. We got to really look at it. And can I tell you something? All of that goes back to your family order. All right? Now, let's deal with this. Ephesians 4, because y'all listen crazy. I don't want to think y'all, I don't want y'all to just say, if you look at Ephesians 4, when we talk about team building, here's the thing. You go to verse 11. And here's what we must understand about Ephesians 4. And we talk about what Paul says. Paul is talking to the church, and he's putting some things in order. And he talks about what God does. He gives some very specific songs in verse 11. But before we get to the song, let's see what he said before he gets to those folk. He said, and who gave? And who? He. Who is he? God, Christ, yeah. He. That's verse, is that verse 11? All right. And what he did, he gave what? Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. Right? Watch this. To do what? For what? Watch this. Now, if we ain't doing that, what we doing? For he gave these offices to, number one, equip, to teach the saints. In other words, I'm not a good leader, deacon, if this church can't run without me here. Y'all miss that. Because right now, it can't. I mean, I ain't saying it won't. It just won't run as smooth. Let me miss a Sunday, and y'all find out. Exactly. Exactly. Half the church won't be here because I ain't here. Now, I know some of you say, well, you say you can get a word from everybody, but you really can't. If you want to, you can. If it ain't but one that Jesus loved me, you can get some. If you want to. A lot of people don't want. A lot of people miss their blessing because they worried about the package. And there's only one Jeff Thompson. And I'm me. And can't nobody beat me being me. So they all ain't gonna do it like me. And I know you said that. But watch this. When we talk about equipping the saints, what am I doing every Wednesday? What are we doing on Sunday morning for Sunday school when y'all don't show up? But what are we doing? We're trying to equip people to say, okay, the pastor ain't here. It's 6:50. I need to teach Bible study. Instead of sitting around. Karen, can you take the pastor? All these folk in here, and ain't nobody equipped. Ain't nobody equipped. Everybody's scared. So, if we're not equipping you to do the work, because here's the thing, there's no way that Jeff Thompson or Deacon Pruitt or these deacons that are in training or these leaders that I have can do all the work. We got to equip some folk to help. But I think the problem is there are some people that want to lead. Watch this. You can't lead in here if you don't lead out there. Oh, I just said something. Because you will reciprocate what's at home. It'll spill over to here. If you ain't a leader on your job or at home or in your family origin or wherever you are, listen, it's hard for you to lead in here. It's just like somebody saying, well, I'm in the choir. Everybody is not a soloist. Oh, my mama told me I could sing. Everybody's mama told me to sing. Yeah, baby. Mama, how I sound? Yeah, baby, you sound good. But at the end of the day, some folk cannot sing by themselves. So that means if you can't sing by yourself, you are not a soloist. You are, and say to myself, a do-wop pop. I'm tired of saying do-wop pop. Say she was a soloist, all right? And so everybody can't do that. But that does not mean, watch this, that where you work, you don't fit. You just got to know where you fit. And everybody don't fit where they are currently are. Oh, my God. You can't make a piece of the puzzle fit that don't go. If it don't fit, it just don't fit. And it's okay. And here's the thing. When we talk about equipping the saints, he talks about those songs, what did he say first? Apostles, right? Then he says prophets, then he says evangelists. But then, watch this conjunction that he gives to the pastor. Because every other office is singular. But when he gets to the office of pastor, he says pastor/teacher. Because even when I ain't preaching, I ought to be teaching. Y'all get that? Even when I ain't saying nothing, I ought to be teaching. My life ought to speak to such that I'm always trying to teach. The other night, we were meeting with the deacons and ministers, and Deacon said, Deacon said, well, Pastor, I think we just need your expectation of what you want us to do. And I simply said this: watch me. That's all you got to do. Watch me and listen. Because some stuff I ain't going to tell you what to do. I'm going to be listening. I'm going to try to see, are you sensitive? Is your spirit band spirit with band likeness with my spirit? In other words, watch this. That's why it's important for a leader to spend time with the team. Watch this. I ain't saying no party. I'm talking about spending time. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Pastor, ain't nobody gonna teach today. We just gonna have prayer meeting. Everybody gonna pray. And can I tell you something? Just because folks praying out loud don't mean there's no prayer meeting. I've been in some prayer meetings that were powerful, ain't nobody said nothing for 45 minutes. And folks just dropping out like flies. Hey, look, you folks passing out. Nobody said no. I'm scared, Lord. I'm just standing there like this. Ain't nobody saying like no. And I boom. Ain't the spirit like that? All right. So it's like you got to spend time, and I understand the practicality of what Nicholas was saying, and there are some things, there are some essential things that I don't have to tell them that I expect. But as much as we spend time together, we will learn each other. The one thing that y'all all know is that I like to be on time. I just like to be on time. I was late for work the other day. It just threw my whole day off. My supervisor said, Jeff, no, because I like to be before time. Because I like to get there, set up my mind, and think about it. I don't like to be behind the 8 ball. Just mess me up. And so, because I want to be before time, because just in case I need to leave early, I can say I don't have to feel guilty about out here all day. All right? All right? So watch this. He says apostles, what else? Prophets, evangelists, pastor, teacher. All right. Then he says to equip the saints for what? The work of the ministry. To equip the saints for the work of the ministry. What is the work? What is the work of the ministry? Huh? What is the work of the ministry? Jesus! I'm looking for some $100 bills to drop. In Jesus' name I receive it. So what is the work of the ministry? What is the work of the ministry? What is it? Is that the work of the ministry? Or is that your ministry? Is that what we should be doing anyway? That's what we should be doing anyway. What's the work of the ministry? Come on, y'all trying to make some up. When we talk about working in ministry, how do we get people to work? Or how do you even attract people to your ministry? I guess that's a better way to ask it. I mean, it ain't no wrong answer. How do you attract people to your ministry? When we talk about the deacon ministry, and I said, D, we need some men. What did you do? I got and asked. Oh! You asked. How you gonna know if folk want to work in ministry if you don't open your doggone mouth and ask? Ain't nobody gonna help you if you act like you can do it all by yourself. You gotta open your mouth. For the work of the ministry, that means things that you know you can't handle by yourself. This church, this ministry is too big for Jeff Thompson to be one man, one pastor, one preacher. So what I'm doing, we got 50-some applicants for a youth minister position because, watch this, and it's a blessing, that somebody want to be a part of an 8-month-old ministry. That people from Facebook and videos see something that some folk in here every Sunday can't get excited about. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Folks, 50-some folk. I ain't talking about just black folk, Asian, white folk, all kinds. I was amazed at the resumes that we got. Because, listen, from what it looked like outside, this is like something that's going somewhere, so I want to be a part of it. One of the dudes emailed me and say, listen, I simply said, even if y'all don't pick me, can I just come one Sunday? I just want to be in the midst just one Sunday. Y'all ain't got to pay nothing. I just want to come and experience it. Because them videos off the chain. All right? So, in order to get people to work in the ministry, the first thing you got to do is ask. Sonny said a testimony about what you said about the greeters, and you said, you just felt like it needed to be done. There was a ministry that she just saw a need, but as she began to work in the ministry, she found out what you said, Sonny? It wasn't for you. The ministry, the work of the ministry would go over better if people would be truthful. When they get in ministry, Angela, and understand, oh, this may be too much for me to help. And can I tell y'all something? Can I let y'all in on something? It's okay if I ask you to do something and you say, Pastor, I can't do it. Don't say you can do it just because I asked you. And so a lot of people do stuff because, the pastor asked me to do it, so I got to do it. I just really don't want to do it. I really don't know where to begin, but the pastor asked me to do it, and I'm going to get somebody to help me do it. And you know that ain't you. So what I'm telling you, first of all, when you work in ministry, you need to understand the things that you love to do is your ministry. Love to do. That's the first thing. If you're in the ministry, it's a chore for you to come to choir rehearsal. That ain't your ministry. Because folk that love music, they'll stay all night. If it takes all night, they'll stay all night. They will. They that passionate about. I'm one of them. I was like that. I ain't like that now, but I was like that. That was my passion. I knew music was my thing. I couldn't wait for Thursday nights to come around and go to choir rehearsal. I just wondered, what do we have to learn? I was, oh my God, I wonder how we're going to say, we're going to do it just like that. All this going through my mind, because this is my ministry, so I love it. So what I'm telling you in ministry, I want you to understand that you got to do what you love to do. That's the first aspect. You got to do what you love to do. And here's the thing, it's all right to try out to a few ministries until you get your niche. Because honestly, some people have never worked in ministry before, so they don't know what they like. So sometimes you got to go, okay, because the first thing everybody do is, they see the choir. Well, I want to be in the choir. But baby, if you can't hit none of these 8 keys, you may have the wheel, but you ain't got the seal. If you can't hit none of these 8, none of them. I'm just saying. Y'all can at least hit about 55 of them. All right. So, he says, so what do you love to do? I'm talking about in ministry. What do you love to do? What's your? It's something. We all have many talents, but what do you love to do as an individual? You ain't got to answer that question, but you ought to know the answer to that question. What do you love to do? Then here's the thing. Okay, if that's what you love to do, then here's what you do. I want to suggest this to you. that if you're serious about ministry and you're serious about doing ministry in excellence, you can only do one thing at a time. These deacons that I met with the other night, I think they're some pretty good men. But next week I'm going to talk to them about time, because you can want to be a deacon. You can have the knowledge to want to be a deacon. You can love the Bible. But if when service over, you got to run to the car, or you can't stay and make sure a door locked, or you can't stay and make sure, am I okay, or do I need you to do anything? You may not have the time. Don't mean you're no bad person. It just means that you don't have time. In other words, I believe that people want to do ministry, but here's the thing. They don't have time. Let me tell you how I learned how this principle, one of the principles that stems from my childhood, has shaped who I am today. All right. I grew up in the project. Robinson Q1. Everybody knows that. I talk about that all the time. And the reason that I constantly remind myself about Robinson God, because I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I worked hard to get out of there. My mama worked hard to get us out of there. But guess what I found out? Some of my ambitions that I'm currently doing, watch this, no. I have not realized that I ain't there no more. But why the hell I'm working so hard? You see what I'm saying? Some of your past childhood stuff you've been running from, and you've been saying, oh, we were broke, and you have missed the moment that you're in now. You don't have roaches in your house like you had in the project. Guess what? You have arrived. If you ain't got to worry about your stuff being turned off, guess what? You ain't there no more. And so you will spend your lifetime running from your past and not appreciating where you are. And the question to me was, and it hit me like a ton of preachers the other day. I was in my prayer time, and I started meditation like Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, that meditation, y'all need to try it. I do 20 minutes when I get to work, and I do 20 minutes before I leave. And it's just simply silent. Sitting, meditating about your day, forget about what's going on, forget about what's good, and just be in the moment. Listen, it has been so refreshing to me. And so it hit me, I think it was last Tuesday, it hit me like a ton of bricks, because I was thinking about my past and I was thinking about where I am, and then I just simply asked myself, well, okay, I'm a pastor, and that's going pretty good, and I just started taking off the list. I got a degree, got a couple of degrees, okay, that's going pretty good. I'm in school to get another degree, and I'll be done with that next year. And so I'm doing this chaplaincy thing, and I'll be done in September. Let me use me as an example. If I don't get in touch with where I am now and appreciate that I am not Robinson Dawn Q1, has a way of showing up in your present, and then it has a way of showing up with how you relate to people. Y'all miss that. The reason that folk come here, Nicholas, ain't because I'm the best preacher or the best this or that, is because I know how to relate. And I know how to meet them where they are. I'm messing y'all up. I'm son and love this. I'm talking about family systems, wrong way, and all kinds of stuff. All right? So I want you to subconsciously think about that when you're working with people in ministry. Why is it that I can't work with this person? Is there something in my past that's shaping my assumption about this person? Because this is what we do. I know y'all do it all the time. Y'all know how your stuff shows up in relationship, working in ministry. That's why some of y'all can't get along. Because your assumption of what somebody has told you about has clouded your thinking into thinking that, hey, they are this way. Case in point. I just thought about this. Karen was looking for a beautician, all right? And she trusted me. And I don't know who it was. Erica knows it. We already had this conversation. It ain't nothing that she don't know. And I don't know if it was, I don't know, somebody said, well, you know, Eric does exotic hair. She go to them hair shows, she be having hair dryers on. But what if that assumption, what if I didn't know that other part about Erica, and I will put that assumption on Karen, and Karen wouldn't have went to Erica because of what I assumed, not from what I know, but what somebody else told me. Because I ain't never said to herself, she ain't never did mine. Right? So you see how assumptions can shape your relationship with other people. And so what we got to do, church, as a church, we have to change our thinking and our dynamic to say, okay, everything that I think I know about this person, until I see this for myself in this person, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give this person the benefit of the doubt. Now, if you find out what you heard was true, govern yourself accordingly. But everybody should have a fair shake, and that doesn't happen in ministry because what we do, we have this.
Is part of the problem and division that we have actually carried over from First Baptist.
Yes.
We have heard some things about people.
Yeah.
Someone told you that so-and-so did something.
Yeah.
And you took it as gospel.
Yeah.
And so now you don't fool with that shit because you heard that so-and-so did something.
Yeah.
But do you know? Have you experienced it yourself?
Right. Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of friction and division because we're going off of what we heard and someone told you. And what they told you is like it's like Chinese telephone. It's three persons later and it got twisted into something evil because we like juicy gossip, right? We like the juicy stuff. So it turned out that, she was sitting by that dude and 6 persons down, you end up she was sleeping with the dude. And you base your interaction on that lie and that rumor that you really know nothing about. And so I think that's a big problem here that we need to give people a fair shake. If you haven't experienced it, and guess what? It may even be true, but if you haven't come in contact with it, because maybe when she sat by me, she was that way, but she has changed because we have all changed.
I don't get that, cause I just think people are just immature. Men can have female friends and not be sexual. Women can have male friends and not be sexual. Some of this stuff, I'm dealing with it. I got to deal with it because it goes back to your assumption and your experience. That's what it go back to. What you done encountered and some stuff you done done. And so you think because you did it, everybody doing it. All right, y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. Y'all ain't ready. All right, watch this. Okay, so you got to do what you love to do. Number 2, do what you love when you can do it. When you work in ministry, be honest and say, I can't do it. I can't be there. I ain't going to make that. Be a woman, be a man of your word. Don't have people in your ministry looking for you and you don't come. Because that's unfair. That's unfair to the people because here's the thing. If you're leaving a ministry, then if we're trying to do something as a team, when you're not there, nobody knows you're going to be there and everybody thought you're going to be there, that your personal dynamic is missing from the group. All right? And so you do a disservice. And so when we talk about working in ministry, not only do we got to do what we love to do, but we got to do it when we can do it. And that may not be, watch this, because here's the thing. You don't come in this church with the same spirit every Sunday. I don't care how much Holy Ghost you got. Some days you be like, man, we gotta have, please don't nobody ask me to pray for them. Don't nobody need to ask me. Don't nobody need to ask me, do they need to leave? Because I will tell them, get out. How I'm feeling today, and you gotta be in touch with your feelings. So if the day just ain't a good day, I tell people quit. Now you might not want to talk to me today. Not today. I'll talk to you when I need the woosah. Today ain't the day. So I may tell you something that may be detrimental to your soul. And so you got to be in touch with that. So you got to do what you love when you can do it. Only do it when you know your spirit is right. And because you want to do something, don't mean you need to do something. Did y'all get that? Let me make that job. I'm be done. I got two more, then I'm gonna let you go. He said the game song, he says for the work of the ministry. Then not only for the work of the ministry, for what? The edifying. Of what? So what, even though you just a part of the usher ministry, you affect the body. Even though you the choir, you affect the body. Even though you the deacon, you affect the body. Even though you the board of directors, you affect the body. And so what you do indirectly affects all of them. Case in point. I can't tell you to be wild or not. Because what I do up there, it's going to affect them. It is. If I ain't doing what I need to do morally right up there, it's going to show up here. And so some of you have come up with this notion that when I'm bad, I stay away. I know I done did something I ain't got no business doing. I just ain't no. Just stay on that home. Just stay back. I ain't going. Who you like to fool? You ain't fool nobody but yourself. But God knows. And then here is what I don't do. I hear some of y'all do this. You know, that's your personal preference. You do what you want to do. But here's the thing. I never ask people if Barbara has been gone. I don't ask her what she did. Because that ain't my business. Because if she won't tell me what she did, she gonna tell me what she did. This is another thing I don't do. When y'all leave on Sunday, I'll never tell you, oh, I'll see you Wednesday. Because guess what? Y'all laughing, but a whole lot of stuff can happen from Sunday to Wednesday. What I do say is, I'll see you later. Because here's the thing. This is what we do, saints, and we unconsciously do this too. We guilt people into doing stuff. All right, then, Deacon, I'll see you Wednesday at the meeting. Something on him that he didn't ask for. Why not just say, hey, I'll see you later. I'll see you when I see you. Because life happens to us. Yeah. Even though I may plan on being here Sunday, from today to Sunday, something can happen. And so I don't want you to say, well, he told us he was going to be here. I did. I just said, see you later. Some of y'all said, well, he told us he was preaching. No, I didn't. I said I was doing the series. I ain't tell you how many Sundays I was on. I'm smart with it now, right? So, all right. So, watch this. So he says, for the perfecting of the saints, right? For the work of the ministry, for the what? The edifying of the body of Christ. Watch this. Until what? And what else? All right. So here's what we should be teaching. What we're teaching is the ministry that we're doing. If it's not equipping folks, if it's not edifying the body of Christ, if it's not building up, if it's not maturing saints, because here's the thing. Somebody asked me, well, we need to get an adult. We need to get an adult dance team. Why? Why do we need to do this? I mean, because they got one over there. Excuse me. Just because they doing that over there, well, I just got a design. Come on now. Come on now. Let me see it. Let me see what y'all gonna do. See, that's what I'm gonna have to start asking. But folk will tell me, well, I'm this and I'm that. Then I let them do something. I'll be like, saying that that's something that we do not, but I'm saying, when you come to me and you say, I want to do this, the first thing I'm going to say is, why? Why do you want to do it? Did God put this on your heart? And then everything you bring to me, I ain't going to say, yeah. All right? Barbara sent me something this week. Great ministry. I think it's needed. It's something we don't do down the road. We're going to look at it. It's great. But I told her this one, I don't know if she got the message because I was emailing her. She ain't no good email. She'll got the text her message. So I was emailing her, and I don't know if she got this, but I said, right now, I need you to concentrate on your ministry. Because that's going to indirectly help me. And so right now, I need her. Y'all miss it. What I did was, watch this, told her, I can't do this by myself. And what I see in you, I need some help. And so I don't want you to do this right now. I need you to concentrate on this because this is going to be a bigger picture. See, that goes, watch this, when the leader is in tune with God and in tune with what God is doing in this due season. Because everything ain't for this season. A set time. And I tell people this all the time. Timing is everything. Some people just duplicate what they see, just do whatever for other folks doing. Whatever you doing this, you know, they got this job, now you want to apply for this job. They got this car, now you want this car. They got married, now you get married. You're doing all this stuff, and it ain't time for you to do it, but because you think it's time, you do it. And then you make, okay, let me give y'all these two more I'm going to The third one I want to tell you is, same thing, do what you love, when you want to do it, but you got to do it in a coordinated manner. In other words, what we do, there should always be order to what we do. Everything, every ministry. You just don't have no ministry me and just say, oh, don't have no agenda, don't have no start time, don't have no set time. It should be coordinated. And watch this. This is what we do in ministry. Somebody else should know, if you are leading a ministry, somebody else, 2 or 3 people should always know what the agenda is other than you. Y'all miss it. Because see, some people get the notion that this is my ministry. And I'm going to lay out what I want to do. And sometimes, when you send an agenda to 2 or 3 people, they may have some insight that they might think, well, you know, this, how you got this, it kind of sounds forceful. So you might be, it really sounds dictatorship. And so because we're a ministry, you may not want to back off of it. But if you think the ministry is about you and what you want to do, then you won't tell nobody then, don't nobody know what's going on till they get here. You call me and all kinds of stuff, nobody know what's going on but you. That's a train wreck. So what you do is got to be a coordinated effort. In other words, always in ministry, you have to always consider other people's input. It's amazing to me that some of you have been members of churches that you didn't know the business of the church. It baffles me. It does. It baffles me. That you, people telling me, I got people my age telling me, I ain't never know this much about the business of the church. Lord, I'm just so happy to be a part of a church that I know what's going on. And I'm saying, how are you a part of a ministry and you don't know where stuff is going? What's the goal? Why are we doing this? You know why? It's because we will mistaught. Oh, you don't ask the preacher no questions. The devil is a lie. Yes, you do, because I ain't God. Question me, baby, because I can answer. And I'm going to show you why we do what we do. All right? And so it's amazing to me. And that comes from, and people bring that with them. That's baggage from their past. They bring that from them, and then they try to put that assumption on other people. And, it's some things that you know, spiritual things. The pastor leading the church on me. If he say God told him to do this, then that's what God told him to do. All right? It ain't for you to say that God didn't tell you. But because you've been other places and you've been able to be in the meeting and say, well, Pastor, God ain't told you that. But then Jeremiah said, that he gives you, Pastor. That's the gift to you. So how you going to tell God that the gift you sent us ain't right? I ain't going to deal with that tonight. All right, last one. I think that's a whole nother Bible study. Last one. Do what you love to do. Number one, do what you love to do when you can do it. Number two. Number three, do what you love when you want to do it in a coordinated manner. But lastly, here's the things that you always have. Here's why people get burnt out in ministry. You're leading, and it's hard to lead church folks. This is one of the hardest jobs in the world. It's different from leading folk on your staff on your job. Lead church folk is hard. You gotta have a support system. In other words, you gotta have somebody, and I would suggest to you, don't let it be anybody. Because if y'all get on my nerves, I can't vent to y'all about y'all. Does that make sense? How I'm gonna talk about, who these people get on my nerves? I'm talking about. You know they get this. She just saying, yes, I know they get on your nerves. Wait a minute. Then she get on the phone and say, wait, but I am on your nerves. All right? So you got to have a support system. In other words, understand. And let me tell you this, Zion. It's okay to miss a Sunday and lay in the bed. You ain't going to go to hell for missing church. Sometimes you need to rest. Because I'm going to tell you something. The summertime coming up, I'm up there, you ain't be working. And them children going to be out of school. And I got these season tickets to Six Flags. I done already told them I'm finna take me some days off. Because I ain't finna miss Six Flags like I missed last year. I ain't gonna do it. And my church, my wife sending me pictures. I'm sitting with people down there. They on Splash Waterfall. I'm just mad. No! In other words, what I'm saying is, when you lead in ministry, understand, watch this, that there is greater ministry outside of this building. And because you're over a ministry don't mean you got to meet here all the time. Meet off campus. Talk about some stuff that you won't ordinarily talk about in the sanctuary. Because folks dealing with some real issues. Be a support. I think a lot of people don't work in ministry because, when I'm done, they have trust issues. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It goes back to their past. Somebody was untruthful to them in the past and they hadn't got over it, so they made a mental note that, okay, I ain't gonna never trust folks when they get close to me. I'm gonna put up a brick wall. But you gotta understand that you gotta trust somebody. And the way that you do that is, you don't put up a brick wall, put up a chicken wire fence. Let some stuff through and some stuff don't let through. That's how you do it. So what I'm trying to tell you is ministry is about relationships. And the only way that we can have a viable ministry is that we all got to know how to relate and be in relationship with one another. Lastly, I want to say this. We got some great couples in our church, and I'm glad that they ain't jealous couples. Couples that their wife can't talk to another man and their husband can't talk to another woman. That's some trust issues that go back. Because here's the thing, I ain't arrogant. Well, I am arrogant when it comes to character. I ain't worried about none of y'all. I ain't. Because I know me. And so what has happened is our relationship is in such a place. And it ain't always been like this now. I'm just to help somebody tonight. Our relationship is in such a point that we have been in a relationship so long that I know her and she knows me. I know what ticks her off and she knows what ticks me off. She knows when I'm mad, I know what she does. And so once you learn the dynamics of the relationship, watch this. There are boundaries that you set up, and you don't push buttons, and you don't put knives in folk heart and do this. Because you've been in a relationship with them long, and you know what hurts them. Watch this. A lot of people don't get a relationship with church folks because they let people in. And then the same people they let in use the knife to do this. And I know something about her. Don't trust her. She told me some stuff. Then you know the other person be saying, what they say? I can't say that. Well, you already got the folk intrigued. Now you know they're going to worry you to death. All right? And so watch that. Watch the dynamics. I want you to think about this week. How does my relationship with others look in my ministry? Because you'll see some comparison. You'll see some comparison. And I want you to be aware of those dynamics. And ask yourself, how can you change? And be conscious. Be very conscious of how that makes you feel. All right? All right? Any questions? Was that too much? Was that too deep? I feel like I feel like giving y'all a test. Take out the test.